Inferno while it burns slow. Shout out to my guys and goddesses, know how vibrational human beings. Y'all wouldn't believe. So I called 988, right? I had a conversation with 988 for literally for like 16 minutes, right? For like 16 minutes. I recorded the whole conversation on the phone, right? Remember I told y'all that I was gonna try to get somebody to record it, like literally from like their phone while I'm on the phone. But I remembered that you can record conversations on the phone like while you talk. So I literally said to myself, I'ma just call and then I'ma record the conversation so y'all can see what I'm talking about, mannerisms and stuff off of you mentioning certain things and what we're living in, and really what's what, and how they act around that to show you really what's what, right? Man, y'all, she damn near hung up the phone on me, y'all. And y'all see how she got off the phone with what I was saying. Y'all gonna be like, oh my fucking God. I was calling her out on everything. I was talking about how 988, but not even specifically her, just the situation, the occupation she works for. You hear me? And I was pointing out how that's just like a whole curveball to make it seem like they care about problems and to help people, and how they bank on that one word, unsafe, and how they ask you that. It's funny. Remember I told y'all, I call them all the time, and this is the first time I recorded it, but it's like I've had these conversations with a lot of them individually, to your point, where I recognize their personal voice and everything, and they be like, oh, it's the guy that talks about genetics. He knows too much. We don't even want to talk to him. I don't care how much distress he in, type shit, right? So literally, y'all, like I literally called them out, and they was trying to get off that. Y'all goddesses, enjoy the rest of y'all day. Peace, power, abundance to y'all. You know what I mean? I gotta recognize them, even if they don't recognize me. But I know they're young. I expected that. But bless their heart though. But yeah, y'all. So like, I'm literally, I literally recorded the whole conversation. And you can even hear it in her voice when she's talking to me, how shaky she was once she realized how smart I am and who she was talking to. You get what I'm saying? She was like real for real. She was like stuck. You get what I'm saying? But the conversation is 16 minutes. It's 16 minutes and 55 seconds. Let's say 17 minutes. But when I'm telling y'all, now I'ma find a way to post it. I'ma find a way to post it. I'ma connect it with like a picture or something, and I'm just gonna have a picture. When I post it on YouTube, I'm gonna post it on YouTube with a picture, and I'm just gonna have it playing over the picture when I post it. But when y'all hear this conversation, when y'all hear this conversation, y'all gonna be like, telling y'all, it's really sad when you really think about it. The levels of like the stuff that they got to put in place around their deception to make it seem like it's not that. And then once they deal with somebody that sees past all that shit, they can see the forest past the trees and know all the manipulation and deception and genocide behind what they're doing. They don't be knowing how to act. They start fumbling on their words. That time she was just letting me speak, and then when I was calling her out and letting her speak, she was, instead of facing the real problem, she was just doing what they normally do. But when y'all hear this conversation, y'all gonna be like, shit. Right now, I'm trying to find out what picture I'm gonna attach it to before I post it on my channel, so y'all can see how vivid it is. Y'all that really know it, y'all gonna be like, oh my God. You feel me? But this is why I tell y'all all the time, knowledge is more than anything, right? Because when you have knowledge and you know who you are, you know what you're living in, you know where you're going, you know what's taking place on the planet, you can't be sidetracked, you can't be manipulated, none of that. All that's irrelevant with you. Like I posted on my, when I was on live earlier, one of my moderators, he was on there and he was saying, yeah, you can't combat it because, I had it pinned to my profile. He was saying that you can't combat it because they'd rather isolate you and label you as crazy instead of actually facing the real problem and getting like help for it, or like actually, you know what I'm saying? Not actually facing it, instead of touching on the surface and acting like that's the stem of the problem without even fixing that, right? Because then to fix it, you gotta focus on the main priority. You gotta go in more. and face the other stuff, not what you saying the problem is when they know it's deeper than that. So it's real, y'all. It's very, very real. You know, one of the things now with everybody talking about these things and stuff, a lot of people are realizing you can't put knowledge and somebody's intellect on a financial state, because the most deadest people on the planet are the most richest people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? That's why they got to create these ways off of you not knowing how your brain work and how your anatomy work, and whether you realize it or not, you're manipulated against, because they know that the average person out here don't even know how their pancreas work. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if you don't even know how your shit work, I could hit intricate parts of your brain by having you associated with certain things, and you won't even know how it's affecting you from the inside out. You get what I'm saying? You're just going along. You know, that's why I say all the time, psychological abuse is way worse than physical, y'all. Way worse than physical. You get what I'm saying? Once your frontal lobe is abused in a certain manner, or you get what I'm saying, like even like your central nervous system and stuff, you get what I'm saying? Certain parts of your brain is played with, and you don't even know. It's over after that, right? Now, a lot of let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all how real it is, right? My son is half Puerto Rican, half Dominican. My son is Latino, right? I came into all of this off of the mother of my child doing me wrong. And for my son's sake, I'm not happy. Zion, you know I love you to death. But I'm happy that all of this happened, because I can make you aware of that much more so who you are and really what's happening on your planet as an organic being you melanated. I can break it down on certain levels that I wasn't able before, due to the pain of me choosing to alchemize and transmute instead of break down and destroy. You get what I'm saying? Because that was a choice. I could have broke down and destroyed. You know what I mean? I could have said, you know what? I don't know what all this shit is, and I'm just gonna feed anger with anger. You know what I'm saying? And hurt with this. But I chose not to do that. I chose to see it for how it is, and the way how they weaponized it towards me. I put that shit in the motherfucking smoothie, and now I'm giving it out to the world exactly what it is, and along with everybody else seeing it for what it's doing. So give me a little bit, y'all. I'm gonna decide what picture I'm gonna put with it. But when y'all hear this conversation, I ain't even going front. I'm gonna be real with y'all. When y'all hear this, because I be talking to y'all from like a biological, scientific standpoint. I'm not even gonna say like I be speaking proper, because I be using slang on here. I be speaking regular, but you know I'm not dumb or whatever, right? But when y'all see the way I was speaking to this woman, y'all gonna kind of see a little bit how I be speaking. y'all might not recognize me, because I was Mr. Robinson when I was speaking to her, because like I said, when you speak to these doctors, when you speak to these therapists, when you speak to certain people of certain authority, you gotta learn, you gotta know how to advocate for yourself in a manner of them not using ignorance or slang against you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta speak a certain way. But the way I was speaking to her, I was calling her out on all of this shit. You feel me? And she couldn't even believe, you know what I'm saying? Like she ain't even know I was recording. You feel me? But I was recording the whole conversation. I was gonna let her know, like at the end of the conversation, like, by the way, I'm recording this conversation, you know, for awareness purposes. But I didn't want to let her know. I didn't even have time to let her know, y'all, because she just hung up the phone. Like she talked. Remember I told y'all like yesterday or day before yesterday, when it gets too real for them, you can tell that they're getting. You actually in a call-in, y'all might even hear her sniffling. I think that she was crying. Because I definitely heard sniffing or something, like, because what I was saying was hitting her spirit so real, she know it's fucked up, regardless of her occupation there taking my call, right? So you're going to hear Laura sniffing in the video and shit. And not only are you going to hear that, but you're going to see that right before she got off the phone with me, it was so real and hitting her spirit so real of what I was talking about, and comparing it to children and everything, that right before she got off the phone with me and decided to end the call, because I told y'all that's what they do. Once they don't have no more answers towards the real stuff that you calling them out on, or their species on, it becomes a situation where I'm not going to stay on the phone while you're in distress. I don't care how much distress you're in, because it's too much truth you're hitting me with, and I got to shorten the call for the next person. That's what it turns into. You feel me? But y'all gonna hear it all in the call and everything. Y'all gonna be like, what the fuck? I'm just deciding what picture I'm gonna put it to, and now I'm gonna post it on my channel. y'all gonna be like, this shit is crazy, you know? It's crazy because I told y'all I was gonna do this, but I didn't think that I was gonna do it this fast. I don't know, something just told me randomly to call. And to be honest with y'all, the past times that I've called them, they haven't even been answering the phone at all. That's how I know it was even more so that I was supposed to have that conversation with her and y'all supposed to hear it. Because no bullshit, over like a span of like a week and a half, you know, I probably called like a couple times. I'm not gonna size it, but you know, all of them times I called, they didn't even answer. And I'm saying this from a standpoint of knowing that the suicide rate is more because of the energy that's on the planet and all the truth that's coming out. People are way more in distress than they're showing. You feel me? I know this from a scientific standpoint. I know what's enveloping the whole planet. You feel me? This radiation is here, right? So I know what it is. You know, whether people talk about it or not, I don't need validation for it. Mother Nature is the validation. So it's like, so I'm saying that from a standpoint of, like, I know, I'm saying this from a standpoint of, like, I call them regularly, y'all. You know what I'm saying? On a daily basis, I call them regularly, but they've actually been aware of, like, my, I guess you could say, awakening or knowing about anatomy or knowing what I'm living in as a so-called black male. Like, they've been aware of it because I called them. Like I told you, I lived in a garage for like three and a half, 4 fucking years. Unhinged diabolical situations. I caught hypothermia twice. Like, I've been through it all. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they seen it. So they know my voice personally and by how when I say certain things. You know, and usually when they realize that it's me, even if I call off a different number, they don't even want to stay on the phone with me. They want to get off the phone immediately because they don't want to be held accountable of what they already know, or even more so what they didn't know, to see even how more wicked it is what they already knew it was wicked, but won't admit. You get what I'm saying? It'd be too much for them. How I be calling them out, and I be calling them out in such a respectful manner, you know, knowing everything, how it's set up and how it trickles down and everything. It just be too much for them to fathom, and they can't believe that they be talking. I had one dude, he asked me, he was like, man, your brain, he's like, your brain is smart as anything, and the way you switch from subjects and you know how this is connected with this. He was like, man, like he couldn't believe it. And I'm just like, man, I read, bro. It's not rocket science, bro. It might seem, I'm not even gonna let you gaslight me like it's more than what it really is. You feel me? Anything that I'm talking about, this terminology and stuff, you could put it together, be able to comprehend and really know what you're living in. You feel me? It's just if you're gonna do it or not. It's not anything amazing, you know? But as far as like so-called black people, it is amazing. It is amazing how we aren't aware of this and we adapt in a way as if like the disruption isn't so scarce, and as if everybody isn't living off of us, off of our division and lack of awareness, right? So it is a real thing. But I'm gonna let y'all go. I didn't even mean to be on here for 13 minutes. I just wanted to tell y'all I'm deciding what picture I'm gonna drop it with. I might drop it with a Asada picture, just because, you feel me? With a Asada Shakur picture, just because, you know. But like I said, that conversation is 16 minutes and 55 seconds. I looked at the recording, and when I'm gonna say, when you hear it, listen to the you know how you can hear somebody's pay attention to everything in body language, in her voice, how I'm speaking to her. Pay attention to certain, I'm not even gonna say exactly, but pay attention how she tried to dodge certain things. She answered a question, right? I'm not even gonna tell y'all what the question was, and I called her out on it, and I'm witty as shit, right? Like, I'm quick too. I'm witty as hell. Like, when I called it out there, her, she said it to the best degree that she could off of that being her occupation, with her knowing how far it can go. And she shouldn't even have really said that much. And I called her out on it, and then she almost acted like she didn't do anything wrong. And then she doubled back again and was just like, fuck it, I already said it type shit. Because he called me out. He know what that meant, the way I said that. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm smart as shit. So it's like, and you don't even know this is being recorded. You feel me? So it's like, yeah, y'all gonna hear it all. Y'all gonna be like, shit. So let me find out what picture I'm gonna put this with. And yeah, I'm about to post this shit. Game changer. You said watch your intentions. No, it's a voice recording. I called 988 and I recorded it from my phone. while I was talking to her before she even got on the phone. When the Lord music, before she even got on the phone, I recorded it. Because I told y'all how the 988, y'all know the words they bank on. The three things that they usually ask you is like, are you a harm to yourself? Are you a harm to somebody else? Or are you feeling unsafe? Everything how this shit is set up and the genocide behind all of this shit, even how they're trying to grip the rope tighter as everybody's awareness is heightening, it speaks for itself. You feel me? What you're living in and how dangerous it is, you know? And how it was a guy, like I told you, it was a guy that I was watching a compilation on, and he comes here for as a tourist, and he said he's been doing it for years and stuff, but this time he came out here from a standpoint of a woman he was associated with, in a way of him living out here, how he was moving with them being in America. And he was just saying, he's like, damn, every breath you take, they trying to sell you something. He's like, you can't even fucking breathe. He's watching with the girl, I think Prime, he said, she pays for it. He said it wasn't even a regular YouTube ad. He said a whole thing came on as if she's not paying for this. We can't even watch a movie in peace. And I'm like, yeah, that's how it is. Everything is pulling on your energy. It's just like buy. It's like you can't breathe. Why it's going up more? And then the people that are so-called short, it's like they for a while was seen as the problem. But now it's so much people of all classes speaking about this. White people, white men, white women, young people, old people, that they can't just cancel out the issues like it's just a homeless problem or anything like that no more. That's the difference. And it's it's such a beautiful thing because basically everybody is being forced to talk about it, you know? So hold up real quick, y'all. Let me find out what picture I'm gonna post this to, and I'm gonna be right back. You get what I'm saying? Or I'm gonna post it and then I'm gonna get back on. You get what I'm saying? I'm up and really pay attention to the whole conversation that this woman, pay attention to the questions that I'm asking her, pay attention to how long it takes her to respond, and then pay attention to what she's saying. Pay attention to, because the complex cell organism, they talk really nice, but their avoidant energy is real passive. You get what I'm saying? But it's expressed in a kind way. So if you don't really understand energy or know how to read body language for real, you might not be able to peep it. But I understand all that shit like the back of my hand. You feel me? Game changer, you said I'm here for it, bro. You know what I mean? She love handles you play video games, bro. Nah, I don't play video games. But when I did though, I played sports and shit, like little basketball junks. But yeah, y'all. Let me just get off here real quick because I'm excited to let y'all hear this shit. I'm gonna get at y'all, man. It's the Lord Viewpoints of RoBs Inferno while it burns slow. Shout out to my guys and goddesses, non high vibrational human beings. You already fucking know, man. Tap in. I'm about to post this video. Hold up real quick, y'all.